website, whatever your website is, there's a specific layout and there's specific elements on the page that Google wants to see. Now, how do we know this? Now, obviously, there's the EAT guidelines. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we could do. We're going to base our pages, our layouts, our structures, our word counts, our link building things off our competitors, and that's great. But when we're just starting out and we're just starting fresh, we need a blueprint to showcase there's certain things on these pages that need to be there. And what I want to share with you is that blueprint right now. So if you come over here to Google My Business, everybody has access to this blueprint. It's absolutely wonderful. Google's going to give it to you. They're just going to serve it to us on a platter. I love them for it. And I want you to take a look at this website. When you come over to this website, I want to showcase that this is the blueprint. One of them, right? Now, there's obviously going to be some tweaks and modifications, things like schema, and I'm sure, you can make it prettier, blah, blah, blah. But let's go through this together. And these are some of the things that we know Google wants to see. Let's just start with a clear and easy to read, right? Navigational bar, right? That's in order. Over here to the right-hand side, quite notably, they're going to have directions, all right? But let's go over here. Let's go view this site. Now, I don't use this site, but whatever that is, but it doesn't matter. But what I want to point out are some of these key elements on the page that you should have on. If you're a local business, you should have these on your website. And this is how I explain it. Google is doing this. This is the blueprint. We need this on our page. It doesn't have to be the same structure. Certainly doesn't have to look the same. But as far as get directions, a clear navigational bar, and take note of what they're adding in there. They want a contact. They have a gallery. They have the About Us. They have a testimonials page. And they have our updates, our news, our blog. Now think about the EAT rules or the guidelines. What do they want? There it is. You get what I'm saying here. Now come on over here. They have a get directions. But wait, where does that go? What's the link? Right? You should have that. What else do they have? Oh, they have a call button and get a quote. So they have an email and a call on the page. Ah, okay. You get what I'm saying? I know for some of you this might be rudimentary, elementary, simplistic, but maybe for someone it can help, and that's why I'm pointing this out. This is your blueprint, your guideline. Now take note of the page structure. It doesn't have to be in the same order, but they're putting specific things on the page, right? And I want you to take note of that. They have the reviews blasted. They're on the page, and they also have a testimonial section, right? Down at the bottom, again, they're having clear-cut images. They call it the gallery. All right, they have X amount that they're showcasing. They embedded a map onto the page. On the page, it's clear as day, the address, the contact, the phone number, and the hours. They didn't have to put this on here. There's a reason this is here and it's built this way. All right, so now what I want to point out to you first and foremost is just a basic search. So if you do a basic search for Plumber, New York, what you're going to see within the SERP results or search engine results page is going to be that Google is going to bold up particular words. Now, we know that these bolded words are because Google is showing us, they want to show us how relevant the results are. So if we scroll through here, what you're going to see is they're doing the variations or the matches of this particular term to showcase how relevant the results are. Now we know this, and I want to point out down at the bottom as well what they're gonna start bolding up other words. Like relevant to Plumber, New York is the word Manhattan. Relevant is salary, and I'm sure there's other relevance to yours. Now, a quick little side tip is that when we're constructing our pages and targeting a primary keyword, do not forget to take the relevant keywords that are in related search and add them into your content. Now, we might not put those into our optimized zones. However, absolutely want to put them into our content. So if this was our main, we might want to add words like NY, and for some this might be pretty basic, but still, like words like near me, the word emergency, the word salary, best, plumber, NYC. Just take note of these words that are in bold and make your variations and make sure you're adding them into your content. Now, with that being said, I want to take it a step further. staying on track of Google is showing us exactly all the secrets, everything we need. There's a lot of tips in plain sight. I want to direct your attention into Google Maps. Now, Google Maps is going to showcase quite a few things when we do our search, the same search for Plumber, New York. We're going to get these results. Now, if we take a look over here at the reviews, I want you to take note of this. Now, let's go ahead and bring us up another one. We're going to scroll up to the top. We're going to come to this business here. I want to open up 2 separate windows, and I want to click on the Reviews tab. Now, the very first tip that I want to point out is take a look at this particular feature that Google is going to do for us. They're going to have the lowest, the highest, the newest, and the most relevant. Now, it was often I've heard people say before that, hey, they're sorting them by the newest, but it's not necessarily true. Like some of them, when you're going through, like it might seem like the most relevant is the freshest, but that only plays one little part. So think about that. There's a mini ranking algorithm right in front of you. You're looking at like a little mini algorithm that's probably based on the same exact thought process, computing process, as the main, but just a lot smaller. Probably not as many factors either, but I want you to really pay attention to this because they're giving it to us. They're showing us what is most relevant words, regardless in a review, regardless on a blog post. These are the most relevant words, and they're giving them to us, and they're going to sort them for us. So I want you to take note of this, that this is most relevant for this particular term. All right, so that's one little piece that I wanted to give you. You're getting a foresight into an algorithm. It's being shown right to us. Hey, here's a ranking mechanism. Here's the most relevant, and here's the words they used. So if we're going through one by one, it's only like, look, I can just come in here, go to this business, and then I can just start looking and figuring out, okay, oh, I see, okay. What are they doing? What are they writing? What are the words? What variations are they using? Like what is it, right? If you really analyzed it, you could really come to a lot of realizations is what I'm getting at, all right? Moving on to the next piece, still looking at the reviews. Now, it's not necessarily the review that I'm interested in, but I want you to take note of these bolded words. Now, when we think back to that last example that I showcased, when we're doing a regular search, all right, within Google, we know that, hey, if I put this in here and I do a search, Google's going to bold up the most relevant terms to showcase how relevant the result is, all right? Hey, look, we found this here. Bam, bam, look at this. Now, Google is going to show us, hey, these are, remember, bolded means showing how relevant. Now, these are different words that are being bolded off of the main term and highlighted within a review. So these are the most relevant terms being bolded, but they took it a step further. They want also added in that it goes to a review. So there's multiple tips here that I really wanted to give you. So when we're building up our main pages, again, I'll revert you back to this homepage, locations, services, about us. You'll have your portfolio or review page. If Google is going to already have very specific links right within their reviews that are containing specific words, the second tip or the third or fourth tip that I'm giving you today is I really, really highly recommend allocating some time to highlighting, hyperlinking these specific words on pages and utilizing these same words with the same links going to the same reviews as Google is using. Now, we can implement this on a number of pages. Now, we know that outbound linking to an authority site, or at least once or twice, or something that's relevant is going to be helpful. So even if it's not only on the About Us page, or on the review page, even throughout the content, or maybe you have a sidebar, if we want to use, which we know are relevant words to our main term, they're being bolded, they're being highlighted, and they're clickable, it's going to be a very, very highly beneficial action for you to bold up and include these into your content, onto your reviews, and also your portfolio pages.